I'm Jacob.
I'm Yuri.
And we're going for a drive.
2018 Volkswagen Passat
GT. I'm actually surprised you said Volkswagen right.
The comments have gotten to me, and I wanted to make sure I said it properly the first time.
You couldn't sleep anymore at night? Let's get to the car. What they fixed, because they fixed a lot.
You complained about the Passat in the last Passat review.
I did. I had a lot of complaints about that one. I think Volkswagen probably watched that video and they addressed my comments really quickly. They put it into production and they made this.
Okay, it was all you, right?
It was all me, yep.
So what were the complaints and what did they fix?
Number one, it was too slow. They fixed that. This has a VR6. It's actually pretty fast.
I think it's a good amount of speed.
This is exactly how much it should have had in the base.
Is it enough speed for having red stripes on it?
That's borderline.
That's where I'm coming from. I see
Fair
red
enough.
stripes and I expect charging like a bull.
Fair enough.
Speaking of charging like a bull, horsepower and torque.
280 and 258 pound-feet of torque.
That's okay, I guess.
Those are good numbers for this class.
Yeah.
This is a naturally aspirated V6, and it is a VR6, so it is Volkswagen's version of the V6. Do you know what a VR6 is?
No, but I know people like VR6.
It's a narrow angle V6. So instead of being like 45 degrees to each other, it's actually narrower so they can shove it into smaller engine bays.
Yo, when are they coming back with the W8?
I don't think they're gonna come back with that.
My stepbrother had a W8 Passat and he loved that thing. He sold it for cheap because it was broken, but man, he loved that thing.
We now have a 6-speed DSG. It shifts so much faster.
Is it pretty much exactly like the Golf R?
A little bit slower, I think. A little bit.
Can they make it slower, or is it like we just put it in and they're all the same? Like I don't understand how that works. I'd like to know more.
I think they can change the aggressiveness of the shift timing and the way the clutches engage.
Okay, cool.
Because it is a dual clutch, so they can change all that kind of stuff.
Speaking of the DSG, if you put it all the way down, you go from D to S, which is sport.
Yes, that's the only sport mode in this car.
And it just hangs revs pretty hard.
Yeah, pretty hard.
And if you put it into D and click it to the right, then you're in manual mode.
That's right. So you can either use the shifter or the paddles at that point.
And then you're your own sport mode.
That's right. So there's no actual sport mode to adjust steering or adaptive suspension or any of that stuff.
Ooh, can we talk about steering now that you said steering?
Oh, I would love to.
Okay,
that was a good one, Yuri. Thank you.
I love the grip of the steering wheel. I think it feels so comfortable.
It's so comfortable.
Especially getting out of that M3 with the big fat steering wheel.
Yeah,
but it's the lightest steering ever.
It's so vague. I absolutely hate it.
The steering may be light, but in a car kind of as boring as this, like I don't even mind. Just makes it easy for parking and driving at low speeds, like whatever.
The only problem is it's a GT. So they tried to bring in that GTI-ness into it, which is why it also has that bright red grille.
Yeah, well, I guess they failed, but whatever.
Yeah, so I took this on Cliche Corner and I sent it a bit. It was way better than the previous one, the base, which is also not the base, which I keep calling the base, which is actually just the R-Line. But the suspension's so much better on this one. It's a little bit firmer, and it's a little bit lower, so it actually handles pretty well. But what I have an issue with is that it's a little bit floaty over bumps.
That sounds like a good thing.
No, because it feels like a boat. I would expect that in a car not called GT.
But this is a boat.
It is, but I would expect it not in a car called GT, so maybe the base Passat.
But we already established that they got GT wrong.
Yes.
So then it's perfect.
I guess. But they just shouldn't have called it GT then. One thing I also want to address, because this is a front-wheel drive car, torque steer. There is none because the tires do not hook up at all.
The tires do have a cool tread pattern, so many lines.
Yeah, but I think that takes away from it because they're 500 treadwear tires. They're terrible.
Yeah, well, we've already established this isn't a performance car.
No, exactly. So again, this should have been the base model.
I got something to kind of complain but also praise about this car. It's pretty bare bones.
It is.
You kind of feel like you're getting ripped off because I like having all the tech, but it's also kind of nice to have a simple car that's just a car.
I fully agree, and that's kind of the whole point of this whole car, is that it's a simple old school approach to a new car. And I appreciate that for what it is because it's so different. You don't get that these days.
Yeah, there's like no lane keep.
Nothing.
No heated steering wheel.
No adaptive cruise.
Tons of blank buttons.
Actually, they're all blank buttons, which is the funniest part.
Not even mad.
Did you even look at this?
Yeah,
because
I saw
look at it. They made the blank buttons a design feature. That's the first time I've ever seen that in a car.
It's fine.
It's hilarious.
I'm okay with it.
But there's gloss black everywhere, which is really annoying, and there's dust everywhere and fingerprints. However, it kind of looks cool.
You said piano black looks cool?
It kind of looks cool.
What?
Yeah, I know.
What's going on?
I hate it, but it kind of looks cool.
Visor test.
Let's go for it.
Don't rip this one off. 3,
Left hand.
2, 1. Perfect.
Oh, yes. Good job, Volkswagen.
I assumed it would pass because of the Golfs.
And we also reviewed the Passat base already.
That was so long ago, I don't even remember.
Well, it wasn't the base, it was the R line, which is the top trim without the coolest engine, so they fixed everything here. Do you like these paddle shifters?
Yeah, I like how they're low profile, they just don't get in the way. I mean, the car's not that exciting to drive anyway, so there's no real point of using them.
Yeah, the paddles are actually really good. I do enjoy using them, completely contradictory to what Yuri said, but they're way too small. Like, way too small. Do you know what Volkswagen actually says about this car?
The most groundbreaking driving experience in the world.
Even better than that. Family-friendly functionality with race circuit-inspired performance. Yeah, that's the same face I made when I read that.
My turn to drive, but first a quick word from our sponsor.
Oh, Kijiji?
Kijiji.ca. They've got brand new 2018 models now, so if you're looking for a new VW this summer, check them out.
They actually have thousands of new Volkswagens listed at any given time.
Just like this one?
Just like this one.
Download the app, check it out. Let me drive.
All right.
Now that I'm driving, I remember all the things I hate about this car.
Which is?
Starting with the steering column, it always smacks my knee.
This is actually the first Volkswagen that you pointed that out in that I also had an issue with.
Yeah, and it's like that in all of them. And a lot of other people complained. I looked it up online.
Yeah?
So I hate the steering column in this.
Little weird.
Next thing, I can never get fully comfortable in these seats.
I can.
There's something weird about them. I think they're built for larger people. I'm not saying you're a larger person, but there's a lot more room in this than a lot of other cars.
Oh, I'm definitely bigger than you, but there's not that much bolstering. There's a little bit. I still find them comfortable.
I just can't get super comfortable.
Fair enough.
But what I do like is that there's a ton of room behind me.
So much room.
There's so much room behind you that you can sit behind yourself.
I can have a whole party back there.
And that's why you said this car's not a big boat when it's floating over bumps. The fact that you could sit behind yourself shows that it's a boat.
It is. The size of the car is, but it doesn't feel like you're driving it like that.
It's a boat. The next thing I don't like, let's talk about the gauge cluster. Our speedometer, the numbers change sizes every different one. 40,
It is
50,
kind of
60.
funny.
You're making it more difficult to read by changing things.
Yeah, I agree.
So get rid of that. I mean, you can show your speed in the middle. Everything's pretty chill besides that, which I like.
There's pretty much no settings in there.
The cup holder. I actually do like the cup holder if it's a small cup of coffee.
There you
perfectly.
go.
The infotainment.
What's wrong with it?
It's the same Volkswagen infotainment that I'm kind of okay with, but it's too low. I've been driving a lot of cars with the infotainment higher, and you just need to take your eyes so much more off the road to look down.
So now you like those tacked on ones?
I've never not liked them.
Oh.
But what I don't like about this is also the tuning knob. We talked about this before in a Volkswagen. When you scroll through the channels, you need to click to confirm.
I don't mind that at all.
Does any FM radio ever do that when you're scrolling through channels?
No, but FM radio doesn't tell you what song is currently playing.
Exactly. So now I need to look down and get distracted to check a song instead of scrolling through.
Well, I like that because I don't have to commit to that radio station, as I've said in the previous videos.
But then you need to keep looking down and you're distracted while driving.
I'm not distracted.
Weird user interface that's not fully there and not fully customizable.
But at least there's Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and they work flawlessly.
Yeah, they worked very well. And then one more thing I don't like about the infotainment. When you go to menu, it shows all the different things you can do, but it only shows the title of the one you're at. So you need to scroll through to see what's available to figure out where you need to go.
I can figure all of them out except this traffic one, which I always thought was my car settings.
Exactly. It's weird.
This car actually has no car settings, which is weird. You can't actually turn off traction control. At least I couldn't find a way to do it.
It does have blind spot monitoring, which I like, but the blind spot monitoring is right next to the signal on the rearview mirror. So if I click my right signal, I see an orange flash. If I see blind spot monitoring go off, it's an orange flash right next to it. It's confusing.
You are 100% correct.
I don't think you need an orange flash when you put on your signal. I would cover that with tape. What I do really like about this car is the looks.
It actually kind of stands out.
It's like sleeper, classy sleeper.
That's exactly what it is.
There's no Passat badge on the back.
Nothing, just a GT badge.
That spoiler is a dealer install, but it looks super good.
It does.
I like the front, how it's got those 3 slashes like the Wolverine slash.
Yeah, at the bottom.
Yeah, it looks good. The red line is overkill. Like, it's not that fast, but whatever.
It's GTI-ish.
Yeah, so maybe they should have made it like a darker red.
Yeah, maybe, but then it would have been a little odd, too.
I don't know, whatever, man.
I know, it's something.
But what I also really like about the back end, that I think you'll really like, is the exhaust tips.
Yeah, they look cool, and it actually sounds kind of good.
The exhaust tips are actually part of the mufflers, aren't they?
They are.
Think about that.
I know, that's
Who
a
does
big
that?
thing. No one.
Nobody.
They gave it an enhanced engine note, so
Yeah.
it has that characteristic Chewbacca VR6 sound. It's not bad. You have to have the windows down to really hear it. They actually gave it tinted taillights too.
Okay, tinted taillights look cool, and I also really like the wheels.
Yeah, the wheels look really good, and we also have red brake calipers because race GTI GT.
To be honest, I think this is one of the best looking sedans right now.
Really?
In this exact spec. It looks so nice.
It does, but you know what's kind of funny is you can only get this in like really boring colors.
Yeah, but like
White,
whatever.
black, and gray, and another gray, and silver.
And the roof.
The roof is black, the mirrors are black, and there's black accents all around.
It does have good things about it.
It really does. If you approach this car thinking, where's this, where's that feature, you're gonna be so disappointed.
But if you just need a car that's new with no features but safe.
Exactly. This is a really good choice.
Man, think about how much safer like brand new cars are in crash tests than older cars.
Oh yeah.
And we never mentioned that. I think we should, but like we don't really know all the details. We can't say this is better in a crash than that.
There are crash safety ratings.
Yeah, look it up. We're sorry we don't talk about it.
Yeah, it's just not exciting. I'd rather talk about engines and horsepower and exhausts and blow-off valves.
And the lack of rewinding satellite radio stations.
Exactly. And visors that don't pass. Way more important than safety.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Touching on this interior a little bit more, I already mentioned it. Gloss black is pretty much everywhere, and it's on the steering wheel.
Doesn't bother me one bit.
However, what doesn't bother me is this weird non-carbon fiber carbon fiber.
Yeah, and the metal thing above it is cool too.
Yeah, it's knurled. It looks kind of cool.
Another favorite part of my interior is the move forward armrest.
It is actually pretty cool.
Gangster, more cars need that.
Gangster.
It is gangster. Look, my elbows doesn't touch, and now it does touch.
Ooh.
Yeah, I can get in that no effort driving mode, and I think the headrest.
No, it doesn't.
No.
It does not ratchet, I checked.
That's the BMW we have right now, ratchets.
Yes. Watch that video, whatever BMW that is.
Unless it's already out. Then you
That's
already
right.
watched it, because you're a subscriber, and we love you. Let's talk about the price.
The price for this Passat GT with only one feature is $34,690.
Canadian.
That's it. It's actually a pretty good deal.
Yeah, I guess this is almost like luxury-ish, but not really.
I wouldn't call this luxury.
But this competes with the Accord and the Camry.
Exactly, because they're all front-wheel drive. So you can actually get the Accord with the 2-liter turbo, which is pretty much exactly as fast as this. With the manual, you can get the Sport for a little bit less than this. That's the biggest problem this car has.
Yeah.
I could not pick this over that, but this is still a good choice if you want an old-school feel.
How about this compared to a Camry XSE?
I would still take the Accord.
Black, red interior. I don't know, I like that a lot.
And aren't you a manual fan?
Yeah, but I also really like the looks of the XSE.
Let us know which one you guys would pick. Accord, Camry, or this, or something else.
Don't forget to subscribe, notification bell, patreon.com/TheStraightPipes, YouTube sponsor button.
And look for a new Passat on Kijiji. You might even see our faces on there.
From our professional photo shoot.
Yeah, we had one of those done.
I'm Yuri.
I'm Jacob.
And we're going for a drive. Subscription break. Don't forget to subscribe.
Subscribe right now. Subscribe. We didn't do that.